Hello and welcome back to the Willie Morgan Show with Manchester United icon Willie Morgan. It's been a few weeks since we've recorded. Obviously, over the last couple of weeks, the UK has been fully focused on mourning the death of the Queen. So there's been no football to talk about. Manchester United haven't played a game now for a couple of weeks, but the show is now back and the football is back as well. First of all, Willie, how are you?
I'm very well, thank you. About 5 weeks now, I think, isn't it?
It's been a good while.
Can't believe I'm 5 weeks older. Yeah, it's been fine. It's just been the usual, playing golf, keeping out of the way. Kay, my wife's papering at the moment, and that's another, keep out of the way. She told me, don't come anywhere near me. So, but no, it's good. There's a few bits and pieces. My granddaughter Jessica passed her all her 9 GCSEs.
Brilliant.
So that was great news for us. And other than that, you know, in fact, I've got something come up. I'll come to Scotland on Saturday.
Ah.
Republic of Ireland match. They're presenting me with a silver medal before the match. So it'll be my first time back in Scotland and bring the family up. We're just coming up for the day. We've got a driver to bring us up and bring us back. So they're presenting the silver medal to me before the match. So I'm looking forward to it. And we'll see what happens. And of course, I've got to thank Alan Petullo, because without him ringing me, months ago now, to tell me, oh, do you realise, you know, you're entitled to a silver medal? I said, no, I had no idea, which I didn't. So, Alan, thank you anyway. And of course, we've gone on from there, and I've been chatting to Anne Quinn up there, the Scottish FA, and Rod Petrie, the president. So I'm looking forward to coming up, and you know, just be nice to be at Hampden again. It's been a long time, Callum. So it'll be lovely. And the fact of playing Republic of Ireland, I would imagine about 90% will be Man United supporters. So it's a win-win. So I'm looking forward to it.
That'll be an incredible occasion, and as you say, there'll be lots of United and Celtic fans, of course, in the crowd. In terms of the last few weeks, United obviously have only played in Europe. They lost to Real Sociedad. They won last week over in Moldova. It's a strange time at the moment with no games, but when they have been playing in the league, they've been winning, which is a big improvement from the start of the season.
Yes. And come on, Callum, why do you think they've been winning? They dropped Maguire, they dropped Shaw, they dropped Ronaldo. He must watch the pod, or he must listen to the pod. Why is it taking so long? I mean, you don't have to be Einstein to work it out, do you? And then he brings them back in and we lose. Real Sociedad, he brings them both back in and we lose. And I read a nice piece the other day that Erik says that he feels now that Ronaldo's reconnecting with his teammates. Really, Erik, is that right? Would that be because nobody else wants him? He can't find a club. Oh, yes, of course he wants to stay, because nobody will take him. You know, hello. Oh, God. But it's still nice. I mean, obviously, we predicted on the pod that they beat Liverpool, and they did. You know, it's up to him. It's not going to be overnight. We know that. But he's hopefully going in the right way if he carries on doing what he's doing and getting rid of the rubbish. And he has to. He has to. But it'll still take, you know, it's still going to be a while. He doesn't have a magic wand. And he's inherited, you know, a bunch of rubbish. And hopefully he will turn it around. I like what he did right away. Get rid of the German overnight. Goodbye. And he seems to have carried it on now, you know, get Maguire out of the team, get Ronaldo out because he's cancerous. You know, oh, I don't want to play, I'm not sure. Really? And it's only since his agent found out nobody wanted him that he wants to stay now. Hello, yeah. Oh, Callum. But he's going in the right direction. You know, it's fantastic. It's great for all the fans down here. I mean, it's great. Great for the fans worldwide.
In terms of United, obviously the changes to the team have made a massive difference. In terms of him, he seems a lot more relaxed now, and I think wins do that for any coach or manager.
Did you say manager? Callum, will you stop saying manager? He's a coach, nevertheless, at the end of the day. But there are some coaches who are very good, i.e. Liverpool and Man City. Hopefully he's going to be in the same mould. I hope so. He seems to have his own mind. He's not frightened to drop people, and not frightened to get rid of people. So we can only hope that he's more of a manager than a coach. I keep telling you, if you have to coach people how to play, you shouldn't be there in the first place. Get a team that can play and let them play. So well, obviously, fingers crossed. I wish him all the best, and at least he's going in the right. There's nothing to beat, Callum. I mean, Man City's the best team in the league, and they're average. They can be beaten. They have been beaten. You know, they're not that, but they're the best team in the league. There's nothing to beat. I mean, you have to look at our situation. 1 week we're bottom of the league, 0 points. Now we're near the top of the league. We could win the league. It's crazy. It's I don't know. It's just a strange predicament that we're in. But don't expect too much from him. You know, I think what he's done so far has been great. Able to sleep at night for a change.
Well, one of the players who you backed when he was going through a really tough time was Marcus Rashford. You always said there was a player in there and that he would turn that around, and credit to him, he has. Callum,
he's got talent, the lad. He's got talent. And he had a chance, and he still has a chance. Do you know what killed him? When Ronaldo came and became the number, you know, they're all singing, all dancing, it's obviously affected the lad. And the lad wasn't playing in his proper position, centre forward. They're playing him on the wing. And now he's back, and he's number one now. Ronaldo's not number one. Rashford's number one striker at the club. And his confidence is coming back. And he's back to being what he was, and he'll only get better. He will only get, the more he plays, the better he'll get. You know, he's apart from, he's a nice lad, and he's got talent. And I hope that Erik keeps the same, and he is. You know, putting Ronaldo on the bench. I mean, Ronaldo's only here, as I told you, because nobody else will take him. That's all. So now he's having to eat humble pie, sit on the bench. It's not, I would imagine it's not very nice. I only ever did it once, that's never again. Anyway, that's, it's good. I keep saying it's good. You know, something else I meant to mention, to diverse slightly. I had Derek Johnson and his wife Teresa. It was his 60th birthday. And he's a massive Man United fan. And I had a round of golf with him at the Mere. And he was absolutely charming and over the moon. And all the lads, you know, all the kids, the young pros. In fact, one of them just turned pro. Jamie just turned pro. So when he was Jamie, a long, successful career. I told him I'll caddy for him if he gets to the Masters. But they were all great with him. Steve, the starter, Cameron, Tom, Andy. They were great with Derek and his wife. They actually stayed there for a couple of days. So Derek, I hope you enjoyed. I know he listens to the pod all the time or watches the pod as well. I hope you had I know you had a good time. And by the way, so did we. You were absolutely lovely. And your wife Teresa even better than you anyway.
How is the golf game at the moment anyway on your half?
Oh, Callum, I'm playing so well, I can't tell you. I'm frightened to say it. No, really, I am. I've just come off the course, by the way. I don't look a bit windswept yet, but I've just come off the course. I've been playing today, and no, I'm playing well. Oh, it's a kiss of death, but I am playing well. Not as well as Alex, my grandson. He shot 4 under par the other day, gross. Kind of a little bit better than me, but I'm trying to get there. So no, it's good. My golf's back, and the weather's been great here. You know, it's lovely today as well. It was beautiful out there, very hot. And I've got playing in a competition on Thursday, John Whelan's competition at the Mere. So I think there'll be a few old faces there from the old days as well. John's he has a box at Old Trafford, and he's a big fan there. So I'll let you know how I go on Thursday. That'll tell you if I'm back or not.
In terms of those kind of tournaments where some of the old professionals come back, do you find yourself getting competitive just like you did on the pitch, where you want to beat them all, even if they're some of your friends?
I want to beat my granddaughter at Tiddlywinks. I don't have to go on the golf course to be competitive. I won't let her win at anything, even snap. So, no, now, before, through the years, when we're playing in the celebrity tour, I used to play about between 30 and 40 tournaments a year. That was competitive, extremely. But even when I was playing with Samat against Collins and Danny Curran, that was competitive. I mean, it was like they'd tear your fingers off, you know. It really is. Golf's like that. Show me a good loser, and I'll show you a loser. So no, I play to win, whatever.
And in terms of United, I'm just looking at the fixtures. The first game back after the internationals, which are obviously happening this weekend, is Manchester City away. Do United have anything to fear, given the fact that City have got a centre forward in Erling Haaland, who is scoring every single week?
If they play Maguire, they'll have a lot to fear. If they don't play Maguire, no, nothing to fear. You know, the thing about City, yes, they are the best team in the league. But I tell you what, you could take a double-decker bus through the defence. You know, the thing that kills everybody, because they keep possession very, very well. But anyone who attacks them, they'll score goals. I mean, that's been proven, and you score goals against them. And there's no reason now that we'll hit a little bit of a run. If he sticks to what he's doing, it depends what team he puts out. Whatever, you know, if he leaves, keep Shaw out, keep Maguire out, keep Ronaldo out, play the team he's been playing, I think we can go there and get a result. City not that great. I said at the back, they're dreadful. The back four's dreadful. I said 2 double-decker bus, maybe 3 you could take through. So I don't fear going there at all.
Just on that, a question that I think is going to make you laugh. I've got so many questions because it's been a few weeks since we recorded. I believe Jim is a Liverpool fan. I could be wrong. Let me just double check. I think he is, considering his name is Jim Copp. Copp obviously being the Liverpool stand, as everyone knows. Willie, who was a better player, George Best or Cristiano Ronaldo?
Not Bestie. Babe, Jim. Kevin Keegan was better than Ronaldo. What are you talking about? No, it's not even in question. You know, you're talking about Ronaldo, goal scorer. Yeah, he's one of many great goal scorers through the years. That's people who just score goals. But Bestie could do everything. You know, best he could dribble, he could create goals, score a goal. Best he better than Ronaldo. It's not even in question. I mean, it's not not a question.
Gio, another listener, says, I used to love watching you when you were at Burnley. For some reason, you always seemed to play magnificently well in the rain.
That was because I didn't want to get my hair wet, so I wanted to get me go even quicker, so and dry it. No, I don't know. I never thought, that's the first time that's ever come up. Never been asked that before. Never thought about it. I mean, I didn't like playing in the rain, I got to tell you, because I got my hair wet. Hated to get my hair wet. And I hated getting my pants wet. I didn't want to fall in the mud. So, well, that's it. I'm going to have to think about that one, but thanks, that's a good question.
Kevin gets in touch to say, did you prefer playing on a Saturday at 3 o'clock or during the week under the lights?
Didn't matter either, Kev. It didn't matter. It was different kind of atmosphere. It was nice at night with the lights. You felt enclosed. On a Saturday, of course, you could see everything and everyone. But no, never, again, I never give it a thought. It didn't matter to me. All I was interested in was turning the left back to ribbons, no matter what day it was.
An interesting one, this is probably an in-depth question. It's from Mike Daly, and his question is, there were several heartbreaking semi-final defeats, starting with the 69 European Cup loss to AC Milan. Do you think the team could have approached those games differently? Was it managerial decisions, or did the team just lack a cutting edge in those games?
Oh, Michael, well, the first game against Milan, we were robbed. We were absolutely robbed in the second leg, because the ball was, I mean, we've been through this before, the ball was over the line, without a doubt. We were winning 1-0 to make it 2-0, and we would have gone on and beat them that night, and we would have got the final, probably won it again. So it was a bad refereeing decision. You know, the Italians, they're well known for dropping readies in somebody's pocket. We're not sure, but it kind of stunk a little bit. No, it was a dreadful decision by the referee, and we would have gone on. So no, we were a better team that night. I mean, they beat us fair and square over in the San Siro, but we were light years better than them back at Old Trafford, and we should have won. We should have won the match. We were robbed. The other ones, managerial decisions. I think not really. I mean, the one again, Leeds, the Leeds one, I think we played 3 times, Mike. I think we had 2 replays, eventually getting beat. I can't remember where we played. The third was at Bolton, I think. Second one was down in the Midlands, Aston Villa's pitch. I think we played the first replay, and we should have won the match again. It was when we missed a couple of great chances to win that night. It was a draw, obviously, and then I think they beat us 1-0 in the third game. It's just one of those things. I think the first replay, Mike, is when George had a bit of a problem with Wilf at the hotel. I think that's if my recollection's right. Yeah, maybe he should have left George out that night. Maybe. It was obviously an evening match. Anyway, history is gone. It's sad for me because I never got to play in a cup final. all the games I played, all the places, I never got to play in a cup final. And we, like you said, we got to semis. And the European Cup final would have been phenomenal. So the other ones were their own fault. The match against Milan, no, referee cheated without a doubt, because he was right on the spot. He knew the ball was over the line, and the guy scooped it out, and he just played on. So, such is life. I've got to live with it, Michael.
A question from Sean, which is another interesting one. If you're managing a team and they were given a penalty in the last minute of the game, you can only pick one player from history. Who do you pick to take it?
Me.
Back yourself?
Yeah, me. I took him at Old Trafford, I took him for Man U. Took him for Scotland. So, it's penalties are, and again, I just placed it. I used to tell them where I was putting it. And of course, after a while, they were telling me where I was putting it, because I put it the same place all the time. But my theory was, I can place it up to your left-hand corner as they're looking at me. You can't get there unless you move. In those days, you couldn't move before you kicked the ball. The keeper couldn't move. And there's no way I'd slot it. I just believe I could slot it. I think there's been, goal scorers normally don't take penalties, because that's not their. I think the other guy that I would have loved to take, if it was me, I think Jimmy Greaves. I love Jimmy Greaves. Same thing. He would just slot it. He wouldn't come up and blast it, or he'd just come up and slot it in a corner. So I hope, it's difficult. I mean, there's so many through the years. I don't remember all the penalty takers, but if there was a competition, I'd be happy to have a little bet on myself.
Our good friend Otterman comes in with his usual couple of questions. First one being, how would you advise players to deal with life after retirement from football?
Oh my God. It is difficult. It is difficult. Especially from my era, because we didn't make enough money to retire from my era. Just wasn't like that. You made a lot more than a normal working man, but you paid a lot more tax. The tax system was diabolical back then. I think anyone who's read my book, 19 6 in the pound, or in this 95p in the pound, tax at the top of the head. So you had to get a job, stay in the game. Most people try to stay in the game. And then, of course, with the advent of coaches, you couldn't get a job unless you had a silly little coaching badge. Dummies they are. Anyway, and most of the players from my era were finishing, including myself, when coaches became the vogue. And I would loan myself to go and sit with a pen and paper and play it on the blackboard. And neither would most of them were the same. So the jobs dried up, the managerial jobs dried up. I mean, I was fortunate enough to be offered a couple, 2 in America and 1 over here, which I turned down because I didn't want to move house. With hindsight, I don't know whether to change it or not, but I do think about it now and again. It's all right talking about everybody else because I've not done it, but I do believe implicitly I could take over anyone tomorrow, any club. and within a year, I made them champions. Not because I can tell them how to play, but I know who can play. And they'd be in my team. But unfortunately, now, as I said, it's run by coaches. They nowadays, they don't have to worry. I mean, they earn so much money, they can do what they want when they retire. So it's not a problem. I mean, some of the people from my era ended up being postmen, dustmen, because they had to get a job. That's not the case anymore. All they have to do now is get a coaching badge. They'll probably buy it now anyway. Get a good agent, you'll buy one for them. There you go. So it's hard because the highs are phenomenal. The highs are phenomenal. So are the lows. And when you finish playing, it becomes Ottoman humdrum. You know, it's very, very difficult. You wake up, same thing, same thing, same thing. So a lot of the players gamble to get a buzz, and a lot of them got in a lot of trouble, you know, through gambling. And I gamble myself because you get a buzz. You know, you get a bit of a high when you win, and you get a real low when you lose, especially when you can't afford to. It's difficult. Life is, unless you stay in the game in a managerial job, because you get the same highs as the player. But the managerial jobs dried up. You had to become a coach, and that took that away from us. We didn't have that option. Or 99.9% of us didn't have that option. So mine was slightly different. I know I got offered about 2 in America, which obviously I didn't want to move over there. And one was Stoke, the other one was Stoke City. And I just didn't want to move house. The kid was still at school, and I didn't want to move. So I hope that answers your question. Yeah, it's difficult, but golf gives me the. And I also get lows from it as well, Ottoman. Believe me, the wife knows when I've had a bad day. I've only got to walk through the door. She says, "Oh, you're on your own." Yeah, really? Okay. So, but yeah, not in the same way, obviously. Nothing can give you that high. Walking out Hampden or walking out Old Trafford, even Turf Moor, just walking out is phenomenal buzz, especially when you're a popular player. You know, it's so you just got to make the best of it. Make the best. That's all you can do.
Before I come back to Otterman's other question, we've got another one from Ian, and he asks, a lot of former managers or former players have had documentaries made about them. Is that something you would consider doing?
Oh, Ian. You know, it took me 35 years to agree to do the autobiography. So I don't know. I did a lot of makeup, you know, if we're going to be doing a documentary, Callum. You could be my makeup man, couldn't you? You could be I've never thought about it. The only thing I can say that having not wanted to do the autobiography, say 35 years, after we did it, I was glad I did it. I wasn't sure when we were when we were doing it at the time, but I'm glad I did it now. It gives you a bit of satisfaction. So documentary, yeah. I don't know if we'll be that interested, but we'll see.
Never know. I'll leave Otterman with the last question as always. If you could choose one thing from the modern game to have in your era, would you choose VAR or would you choose more protection from the referees?
I'd choose the pitch, Ottoman. I'd choose the grass on the pitch. That's all I'd want. playing those pitches. They can have the rest, I don't care. VAR, there's a load of garbage. Some of the decisions are mind-boggling. So it's ludicrous. No, the pitch. Protection, we didn't need protect, my goodness. I mean, Best and I were playing now, we play you 90. They can't tackle you. I mean, we got kicked up, held down. They were animals. They were animals, the left backs. That was part of the game. You know, you rode the tackles. I tell you what you didn't do, you never went down unless you really were hurt. You would never show them that, you know, rolling around. You know, you get kicked in your shins, you're rolling around, holding their heads. Oh, hello. It's pathetic. It's pathetic. It's a man's game. It's a contact sport. That's what it's all about. That's why some people were left backs, centre halves, the nasties, and some people were creative. The nice people. So, no, I wouldn't, that doesn't bother me, that's neither here nor there. The pitches, every player from my era would love to play on these pitches. They're phenomenal. I mean, it's just fantastic. So that's the one thing I would love and change. I wouldn't change the players. I wouldn't mind if we got paid what they're getting paid back then, but no, the era I played in and the players I played with and against, they were the best of all time. And I wouldn't change a thing. Not even the pitches. The mud wasn't too bad. At least we could wash it off at the end of a hot bath.
It always flies in. Before we go, have you got anything you'd like to say to the listeners?
No, it's just the usual, you know, and I mean, I don't know what's happening in the world. It's so crazy. But as always, you know, take care of yourself, take care of your family, and may your God go with you.